finally here and I'm so excited. It's definitely my favorite season and I'm hoping to make it a good one. So I have 65 summer bucket list ideas and hopefully they also help you guys level up your own summer. So yeah, let's just get started. I have my list right here on Notion. So number 1 is to go to the drive-in theater. I don't know why I've never done this because I think there's one pretty close to my city, but it just seems like such a wholesome activity to do. And maybe your city doesn't have a drive-in theater, but it might be hosting some outdoor movies, which is number 2. I know here in Vancouver, there's a couple that I really like to go to. They host some at Stanley Park, and I also think they do some in North Vancouver. So maybe you can just do a quick little Google search in your own city and see if they have that. And if they don't, maybe you can get a projector and project a movie on like a wall or a sheet or something in your backyard and have a cute little movie night if that's a possibility for you. Number 3 is to have a little PowerPoint night with your friends. I don't know if you've seen these on TikTok, but they look like so much fun. Essentially, you just get your friends all together for one night and everybody has to make a little PowerPoint presentation and you can get really creative with them. I feel like I've seen some that are like rating how well each of my friends would do in the Hunger Games or like the apocalypse and why, or this friend starter pack or something like that. I'm sure I'm inserting some good ideas here and obviously crediting the original creators here for them, but yeah, I just think it would be such a funny night to do with your friends. Number 4 is to go paddleboarding. You can't go wrong with this one if you enjoy being out on the water, and maybe there's an ocean or lake near you that you can go to, and if there is, you can also go kayaking, which is number 5. Number 6 is to go to laser tag. I actually haven't done this in so long, but I think it would be so fun to go and just feel a little bit like a little kid again and get competitive with each other if you go with some friends. Number 7 is to have a paint day or a paint night. You could do this with your friends, either all choose to go to a park and get some supplies from a craft store and make some cute little paintings, or invite everyone over one night and do it inside. Or I also know there's a lot of paint classes and there's also some outdoor paint classes that you can do where you're just following along with an instructor and painting something more specific. And obviously you can do this by yourself as well. I just think it looks like such a fun little creative thing to do. Number 8 is to go hiking. This one's a summer classic. Just pick your difficulty level, find some nice hikes near you, and get out in nature and away from the city. Number 9 is to pick some new restaurants in your city and make a list so you're not questioning where to go. I don't know about you, but whenever someone's like, let's grab dinner or let's grab lunch, we usually always end up at the same restaurants, or if we're looking for somewhere new, it takes us forever to find something that we both want to go to. But if we just had like a little list in our notes app and we could just pull it out and pick from that list, then that would just make things so much easier and it would be such a good way to try a new restaurant that we already know that we're interested in going to. So yeah, I definitely want to do this for myself, and you can always keep that list past summer so you have it for other seasons as well. Number 10 is to have a photo shoot with your friends. You can pick out some inspiration from Pinterest and just go out there and take some cute pictures. It doesn't have to be anything serious, and if you're just by yourself, you can always put your camera or your phone on self-timer and just get some cute pictures for you. Number 11 is to paint some tote bags. I saw this on TikTok actually, and I thought it was a fun little idea. You can just go to the craft store and get some plain tote bags and make a little personalized design on it. Number 12 is to have a bonfire. Another classic summer thing to do. Just sit by the bonfire, make some s'mores, play some music, play some games, maybe play some drinking games. I don't know, just such a cute little summer thing. Number 13 is to have a board game night. I think it would be so fun to host this and just have your friends bring their favorite board games and combine them with your own and just play games all night. Number 14 is to have a little cocktail night with your friends. I've done this a couple of times. We've done themed ones for Halloween and for Christmas. I also think we did do a summer one. So you could just do like a little summer cocktails themed night with your friends, and you each bring your own ingredients and make them for everyone. And if you want to spice it up, you can also do a little rating competition system where you're rating the drinks based on like taste and how aesthetic they're looking and maybe the creativity behind the name, things like that. Yeah, it's just so fun seeing what everybody comes up with. Number 15 is to go bike riding, and if you're in Vancouver specifically, you definitely have to do this at Stanley Park by the ocean. It's so freaking nice. Number 16 is to go bowling. Number 17 is to go go-karting, and I actually did this for my birthday last year and it was such a blast. And bonus, if your city actually has an outdoor go-karting track, just to be a little bit extra summery. Number 18 is to go rock climbing, either outdoors or indoors, depending on what kind of person you are. Number 19 is to go to a farmer's market, throw in a cute little outfit, hit up your local farmer's market. Number 20 is to play some tennis. If you haven't seen the movie Challengers already, you definitely should watch it before you go. It'll give you that little bit of like extra motivation. I actually recently went with my boyfriend and we went just to some outdoor courts, and you don't have to be good at this at all. I mean, we weren't very good, but it was just fun to hit the ball back and forth and have little games like that. You can also get pretty competitive as well. Number 21 is to clean out your closet. And I know this is not the most fun activity, but it's definitely a good thing to do to just declutter things that you're not wearing anymore. I've done this a few times on my channel and I always like feel so good after I've done it. Number 22 is to go to an escape room. If you haven't heard of these, it's basically solving a bunch of clues and like little puzzles to get out of a room, to escape the room, duh, obviously. But you're also working against a timer, so it's fun to try and figure things out, and things can get pretty chaotic if you're there with a lot of people as well. But yeah, it's just such a fun challenge. Number 23 is to go to a rage room. I've never been to one of these, but it just seems so cathartic to go and like hit and smash and destroy a bunch of things. I just think it would be such a good way to also relieve some stress. Number 24 is to have a little video game tournament. This is a pretty cheap option if you already have a console or one of your friends already has a console. Set up one of those little like competition brackets or whatever they're called, I don't know what they're called, or just like a scoring system for whatever game that you're playing. Number 25 is to go to the trampoline park. It would be so fun to just go and jump around and feel a little bit like a little kid again. Number 26 is to make a scrapbook. I feel like I have so many pictures saved on my phone and my computer that I love, but I rarely look at them, so I think it would be so nice to actually have a physical copy of them. You can keep it simple and just do pictures, or you can also get some like little stickers and write on it or whatever. I've also seen some that you can do online and they'll print them out for you, and it'll be like having your own coffee table book, which I also think is such a personalized piece of home decor. Number 27 is to try out some new workout classes. There's so many ways to work out now. You can do like the cardio dance classes, boxing, hot yoga, reformers Pilates. I've also seen like rowing classes that are to the beat now, kind of like a spin class. I don't know, maybe try something new, see what there is in your own city. Number 28 is to go stargazing away from any city light pollution. Number 29 is to go zip lining. I actually did this with my sister and my cousin last summer in Whistler, and it was such a good adrenaline rush, and the views were also so beautiful as well. So maybe check out if there's any place near you where you can go and do this. Number 30 is to do a racer tour, or like one of those off-road ATV things. I did this last summer on the same day that we went ziplining in Whistler, and it was so much more fun than I was expecting it to be. I don't know what it was about like driving off-road, but it was actually so exhilarating. Number 31 is to have a little beach day with a good book. You can do this solo or with a good friend. You just can't go wrong with this. Number 32 is to go to the park or the beach and play some volleyball or some frisbee or spike ball. Number 33 is to go listen to some local live music. Go support some local musicians, maybe at a pub or like one of those little music club things. I think most of them you can honestly just like pay for your drink and your food, and then if you want to tip the musician, you can do that as well. But it's a pretty cheap way to listen to some live music. Obviously, like if there is cover, it's gonna be a lot cheaper than just like a regular concert. Which leads me to number 34, which is to go to a concert. A bit more expensive, but look up what artists are gonna be in your city this summer, and maybe see if you can get tickets and go to those. Number 35 is to go to a cooking class. I think it would be so great to get some new skills and maybe incorporate the dish that you learn into your own like meal rotation. Next is to make some jewelry. You can get your own supplies from like a craft store or something, or if you Google it, there might be a place in your own city where you can go and make some. I know here in Vancouver, there's a place in Granville Island called Beadworks, which is actually where I made this little necklace here. You can like pick out your own beads and your charms and everything, and then they just like put the little clasp on it for you. And I think this was only like 20 bucks. So honestly, such a good thing to go do. Number 37 is to have a picnic with your friends. Number 38 is to find a bunch of good sunset watching spots. I feel like I have a few go-to ones here in the city that I really love, and it just gives me somewhere specific to go. Number 39 is to have a lake day. You can drive to a lake, bring some floaties, bring some food, maybe a good book, and just enjoy the time by the water or in the water as well. Number 40 is to go to an amusement park, maybe go on some roller coasters, some nice rides. Hopefully your city has something like that. Number 41 is to go to mini golf. Number 42 is to go watch some fireworks. Here we have something called the Celebration of Light, I think it is, and a bunch of countries essentially are competing in this fireworks competition, and they each have like one night to show off their fireworks, so there's a couple of days that you can go to. So maybe there's something similar like that in your own city. Definitely look up if they have little fireworks events. Number 43 is to go to the theater and watch a play. Look up what's available in your own city and go and support the arts. In Vancouver, there are two that are very popular, specifically like summer theater things. There's Theater Under the Stars, which is outside at Stanley Park. And then there's also Barn on the Beach, which is in like this little outdoor tent. So maybe there's something similar in summary for you. But if not, I'm sure your local theater will also be putting on some plays. Number 44, kind of along the same lines, you can go to an improv show, or next, you can go to a comedy show. Number 46 is to go roller skating. You could go outside or maybe try and find one of those like little indoor roller skating places. Number 47 is to get some temporary tattoos. I know there's a company called Inbox that makes these, and essentially they look pretty realistic, but they last like 1 or 2 weeks, so it'll be like getting a tattoo but without the commitment of one. Number 48 is to paint some pottery. You can make your own little mugs or plates or little bowls, and I think most of the places that you go to like paint these, they'll like glaze them for you and then put them in the kiln for you, I think that's what it's called, and then you can go and pick them up a few days later. Number 49 is to have a water fight or a water balloon fight. Obviously don't do this if your city has like water restrictions, but otherwise definitely go for it. I did this with my family like 2 years ago, and I kind of thought it was gonna be lame, but it ended up being so fun to revert to like a childhood activity like that. Number 50 is to go on a little road trip or a day trip. Maybe see if you can book an Airbnb somewhere for a couple of nights, or just wake up really early and have a little day trip, maybe to like a nearby city or a little town and do some exploring there. Number 51 is to journal. Take some time to document your summer and document like your thoughts. I promise you'll be so happy that you did this like 5 years from now. I personally love documenting my life like that, and it's always so good to have. Number 52 is to go to the art gallery. Maybe go on like a really hot day and take advantage of the AC and take a little stroll and look at some artwork. Number 53 is to make a vision board. Mine is on Pinterest and I'm often adding to it, but you can also just make like an actual physical one and visualize your goals and whatever you want to be doing, and maybe do a little bit of manifesting like that. Number 54 is to have a spa day or a spa night. You don't necessarily need to go to the spa for this, but if that's in your budget, then definitely go for it. You can always do this at home, have a nice bath, maybe do some face masks, some skincare, some meditation, and so on. Number 55 is to go to a fair or a carnival, that is, if there is one in your city. I know a lot of people from Vancouver are actually going to the Calgary Stampede, which I think will be a lot of fun. So maybe see if there's anything in a city that's like not necessarily yours, if that's in your budget. And if not, maybe there's like a smaller fair or an outdoor market or things with like food trucks and little vendors and events that you could find. Number 56 is to make a book club for the summer. Pick a book that you think all of your friends will enjoy, and maybe try and see if you can meet up like once a week, or pick a specific date by which all of you will be done the book, and then you can like talk about it. Number 57 is to go to the arcade or an arcade bar. Next is to write some letters to your friends or your family. I just think this is such a wholesome thing to do. Maybe you write one to your parents or your siblings or your significant other and just tell them how much you appreciate them. I feel like handwritten letters like that are always so much more meaningful than just like getting a text, and it just feels very wholesome and like heartwarming. Number 59 is to play some drinking games. There's so many options there, and it's always like such a fun night to have with your friends. Number 60 is to tour a brewery or a winery. I'm not really a beer person, but I love a good winery tour, or just hitting up a couple of wineries and trying some good wine, maybe getting a little tipsy with my friends as well. Number 61 is to watercolor at the beach, and this actually popped up on my TikTok For You page, and I just thought it was really cute. Just like go out there and not take things too seriously and do a little bit of watercolor painting. Number 62 is to go to a museum. I feel like I never really go to these because it just feels like such a touristy thing to do, but I'm sure if I went and checked them out, it would actually be like really interesting, and maybe I would discover and learn some new things. Number 63 is to try a new recipe or make a recipe book. I know personally I'm getting so sick of all the meals that are like in my current rotation, so maybe adding a new recipe to that and making a little recipe book of like my go-to recipes would be really nice. Number 64 is to start a little video diary. You don't even necessarily have to do it for like posting on YouTube or any kind of social media, just like do it to document your own life. And this summer, I know I love looking back at videos from like 5 years ago and seeing what I was like back then and like what my life was like. And I just think the older that you get, the more that you appreciate things that you've documented in the past. And number 65 is to organize a dinner potluck with your friends. And that was the last one, but I'll give you a little bonus one. And that is to hit the like and subscribe buttons. And yeah, I hope this helped you and that you added some ideas to your own summer bucket list. And yeah, hopefully I'll catch you in my next video.